back, brothers and sisters. Hope y'all are having a blessed day and blessed night wherever you are on this earth. And today I decided we should talk about what the new heaven and the new earth will be like and what will we do. What could be some of the things we could do. What can be some of the things we can look forward to. What brought me to doing this video is I know myself personally, I've always been curious and what will heaven be like, right? We live in a society and time where we have all this technology and we have cars and the internet and we just feel so separated from what life was. I want to first start off with the clothing. What will we wear? So it does say in the Bible that we will there is a verse that and I'll put the verse right here that talks about wearing robes, but you got to remember back in that time that was the usual wear, right? Maybe we will wear what is normal for today's period, right, for us, and they wore what is normal to them during their time. So that's a possibility. Yes, we will eat. Heaven will be eaten a lot, I'm sure. um After Jesus rose again, if you remember, he went to go to his disciples and present himself, and he did eat. What type of food will we eat? Now, it never speaks in Scripture anywhere about eating meat in heaven. It is possible that we could have meat in heaven, though I'm more leaning towards the original diet, which was just plant based. But I'm not saying it's not possible, right? God does not have to kill to allow us to have meat in heaven. So I wouldn't rule that out, but definitely fruits and vegetables. And it talks about the tree of life and the river. It goes straight up to the throne of God in the new heaven, and there will be a tree of life, which will have a different fruit for every month. Another thing we got to look forward to is loved ones, right? If you've had a loved one that's passed and has accepted Jesus, you will see them there, and that relationship will continue, whatever it was on earth. There will be no sex or marriage or anything like that, but them relationships, I do wholeheartedly believe that they will continue, in the sense, if you knew that person as your mom, you will know them as mom there. You will have that connection as you had on earth, just in a uh, cleaner form, right? There's going to be tons of loved ones that you haven't met, right? That you will get to meet, and it will be a spectacular moment, right? You're going to get to meet. I mean, you got all eternity to talk to all these uh, people who's been saved, that's accepted Jesus. You got all eternity to sit around, and not only that is you'll have time to talk to the disciples, right, and the prophets and everything throughout the Bible. All these people that you've heard of, you have all eternity to sit back and have a great conversation with them, right? So that's something to look forward to. Another huge point I would like to make is the fact that there will be no more pain or worries or suffering, right? Pain is not just limited to the flesh, right? It's also part of the brain, right? You have mental sadness, depression, anxiety, worries, temptations. All those things will be of the past. How many of you guys watching this right now can say you've went a whole day without worrying? Very, very few. At least I know myself. I haven't went today without worrying, right? As I strive to not, as we're weak, right? We're human, we're sinners, we're fallen. We have to work with God, and I always have something that might make me worry. There will be no more of that, and that's great. That's a relief. We will not sleep. This is another point I'd like to make. There will be no need for rest. That's the formal. Could it be possible that we could sleep? I don't know, possibly, but there is no need for sleep. We'll have glorified bodies. It'll be like pulling a whole all-nighter for eternity, right? We're going to get to sit and sing and do all kinds of things. For all eternity, we're going to be able to worship our Creator, which is going to be awesome. We'll get to see Him for who He is, and we'll get to be there. And just the fact that we'll be able to bow before Him and worship Him and sing praises, that's awesome, man. And I can't even explain the excitement I do have for that. Here of the new earth. There will be a new earth. God says that the old earth will be gone and there will be nowhere to be seen, and He will create a brand new earth. Now, imagine the most beautifulest place you've been here on earth, and it won't even compare to what God has for those who love Him, right? We'll get to take care of the new earth. We'll be having duties to do on this new earth, right? And we'll get to take care of it just like we did in the garden, right? We're going to be able to take care of this amazing. There will be animals I'm sure we have never even heard of or seen, right? And the glory of these animals, just the beauty of them compared to what sin's done to the animals here. The fact that there will be vicious animals lying with other animals that are supposed to be vicious, but they're eating hay, they're eating the same food, they're not eating anything different from each other. They're going to be back on their plant-based diet, which is amazing, right? And if you have a pet, I always say this. I had a last video about does pets go to heaven a couple days ago. If you haven't seen that, please check that video out. But like I said, I do believe, personally, I believe that why not? Why can't our pets go to heaven? Why can't the current animals here go to heaven, right? If they have a soul, and if they do not, why couldn't God bring them there, right? So I wholeheartedly believe one day we will see those lost animals that we do love. Yeah, I look forward to that. I believe that could happen, and if it doesn't, I know God has us covered, and He's not going to allow us to be sad for eternity over it. Rewards. There will be tons of rewards given to all the saints, of course, for what we have done here on earth, right? If you're in this life and you don't got much, remember that. You can work hard spiritually in the sense of sharing the good word, praying, fasting, keeping the commandments. God does have rewards. Mansions. Jesus says in His Father's house there are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you, so where I am, you can be also. As on earth, we all have dwelling places where we live. And if you live this whole life and you do not got a big house, you live in a small apartments, you live on the streets, remember when you die, Jesus said there are many mansions. He will go to prepare a place for you. So there will be a mansion for waiting for you, a dwelling place, whatever that may be. I'm sure it's going to be custom tailored to what you loved here on earth. Not sin related, but your own personation. So if there's a new earth, a new heaven, right? There is going to be a ton of exploring to do. And I could only imagine how much exploring there is going to be to do, right? There's going to be so much for us to learn about the new earth and about heaven and about all sorts of places there that we haven't seen, right? No eyes have seen, no ear has heard. So I can only imagine how beautiful, again, the new earth will be compared to this earth that's been corrupted with sin. Learning will not stop. Of course, we do not have all the knowledge here on earth. So when we get to heaven, of course, there's going to be a ton we got to learn. Learning about stuff on the new earth. So it's not going to be the learning you're thinking about here, of course, being strained, you having to think about it a lot and all that. In heaven, it will just kind of come to you. Always be sunny, as there will be no need for nighttime. So there will always, and the sun will come directly from God, right? He will be shining, making it super shiny. So it's like a perfect day for eternity. And that's awesome, because have you ever had a day, just stop and think about it, where it's just been the perfect temperature, the sun's out, it feels good, the birds are chirping, you've just had the perfect sleep the night before, nothing at all has bothered you that whole day. That's the kind of day, times a quadrillion without even thinking about it. Be the best day forever, right? And that's amazing, and I cannot wait for that day to come. No more worries about getting sleep or having to get in bed on time or feeling exhausted. All that will be formal things, and everything will be pure, just holiness and pure wealth and beauty of God. Will be streets of gold, right? As transparent as glass. And if you've ever seen the clearest gold, the purest gold, I can only imagine how much that costs, right? But this will be the purest form, clear, as transparent as glass. So you can only imagine the beauty God has. God will never be separated from us again. That is amazing to me, welcoming us in His home, then building us a new earth and putting His heaven on our earth so we get to dwell with Him and He will be with us. That's amazing, guys. Thank you all for joining me in this video, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Please drop any prayer requests or anything that you want to voice your own opinions on certain topics in this. I'd love to hear from you. And as well, if you feel moved to subscribe, please do so and share if you feel moved to do so. It'd mean a lot to me. Again, thank you for everything. May God bless you. Until next time, guys.